morning. BJ and Joe Ondo out and about on the Recumbents. We're back on the Sinton Trail. This is becoming a very familiar trail. We had to come up this way to, we had an appointment at Angletech to have some new tires put on and some other things on both the trikes. And well, the person that was in front of us, service-wise, had a real disaster, you know, and they needed about 5 hours to work on the bike. Well, we weren't going to sit around for 5 hours, so we went ahead and rescheduled it to the 28th. But today we're having a PPRN, which is the Pikes Peak Region Recumbent Network Meet and Eat. Now, meet and eat is where basically you pick a spot where you're going to eat and meet, and then you tell everybody, you know, they can take whatever route they want to get there, and we all meet there. Never have any idea how many people are going to show up. Could be just Joe and I. Speaking of Joe, she's back there. And yeah, you know, I mean, we never know. Well, if it's just us, that's okay. We got out for a ride. And if we get anybody else, well, then it's just a Benny. Just trying to come up with a way to, you know, try to involve the club members a little more. We don't lead rides. And the reason we don't lead rides is because of medical problems. Number one is me. I have bladder and bowel problems. That's all I'm going to say. So, you know, I have to use the restroom way more often than your normal senior, okay? So that's not good. You know, I don't want to lead a ride and have to stop, you know, every 30 or 45 minutes. And, you know, everybody get mad when, you know, they can last for 2 hours and I can't. The other thing is Joe is a type 2 diabetic. And she has to have, you know, basically about every hour and a half to 2 hours, she needs to eat something. And to keep her blood sugar from either from crashing, not from going too high, mind you, because when she's exercising, it rarely goes too high. Rarely, you know, it goes the other way. So, you know, that's the bad thing about diabetes. It can make you go either way. I'm a little bit what they call hypoglycemic. I don't know how that's right pronounced, but which means that, you know, I get kind of woozy and stuff if I don't eat. But I can usually hold on for, you know, a good 2 hours or more, and before, you know, it starts really growling at me. And but Joe can't do that, you know. 2 hours is the absolute max for her. So like I said, we're going up to the Red Leg Brewery. Now you would think, oh, it's a beer joint. Well, yeah, it is, but they also have several other different little cafes. You know, they have a hamburger place and a pizza place and they have a lobster place or seafood place, but it's never open. They have cookies and, you know, so, and they have Oliver's Deli up there, which makes killer sandwiches. And so, you know, so there's a lot up there besides, you know, just, you know, the beer place. But I'm not gonna worry about it if somebody has a beer with lunch, you know. Hopefully they won't have more than that, but, you know, they know their limits and I don't. But yeah, so that's what we're, like I said, we're on the Sinton Trail. And we're on the older part of the Sinton Trail right now. This is the old asphalt, which is of course beat up. Any of our asphalt trails are beat up. Okay, that's just all there is to it. But there's still a lot of pieces of asphalt on our concrete trails, you know, which are all mostly urban trails. And you know, I mean, the city can only afford to do so much. So, you take the good with the bad. And yes, they're a lot slower than we'd like them to be. There's a couple of projects here they've got going, which one is the Rock Island Connector Trail. We've been waiting for 3 years for them to finally start and finish. Well, they started it last, you know, kind of real early, you know, maybe the, you know, real late 22, like December, you know. And 23, you know, they got a lot done. And then they quit. About 3.5 months ago, they just quit. And we don't know if it's money. You know, these trails cost money, especially if they're concreted. And, or, you know, if it's just, they told us that it had to do with utility work that they're doing around the area. And I will have to admit, there's been a lot of utility work at the area right around the entrance to the Rock Island Connector, because we live right there. So, you know, I can't say they're fibbing, but I still think they're holding back. My wife and I kind of agree it has to do with that they've ran out of money and they're waiting for the next fiscal period, which I think is in September for the city. They kind of go on the same schedule as the schools. They don't go January to January. They go September to September. Little panorama of Pikes Peak. We're heading towards 30th Street, and then we'll turn around and go back into Red Leg Brewing. We're actually going to pass right by it, but gotta stay tight here. Howdy. And pretty popular trail. You know, maybe not as popular as some of them, but to my understanding, they consider this the Sinton Trail. Now, I've heard it might have another name, but I don't know what it is. Basically, it, you know, where we came up, comes under Centennial Avenue, or Centennial Boulevard rather, and works its way up the hill. This way's almost all uphill. There's some dips here and there, but coming this way is just about all uphill. And like I said, we're in the foothills area. Or we're basically into the west side of Colorado Springs, Colorado, where we live. And this funny shaped semi-round building is actually the Red Leg Brewery. A couple of years old. Maybe getting to be 3, but I think it's only a couple. So we're gonna go up and catch just a tiny bit of the Foothills Trail, because once you get to 30th Street, it changes to the Foothills Trail, and then we'll come back around on the back road, little back street, and come back over here, because it's 10:25 a.m. on Saturday, and I believe today's the 22nd, and the actual meet time isn't till 11, so we got time to do a quick spin here. There's a little more of the foothills here. Okay, wall's getting a little too tall. And there's some amenities here, you know, besides Red Leg. There's also a loafing jug, which is like, you know, a 7-Eleven, you know, all of them. But they're really nice people. They never complain if you just stop in to get ice. We always try to buy something, you know, at least a bottle of water or something. But we're not going to be stopping. Okay, now we change from the Sinton Trail to the Foothills Trail. And you can kind of see why they call it that, because it goes right along the foothills. And this trail will take you to either, once you get to the low bridge, you go under that, you're still on the Foothills Trail. And if you stay straight, you're on the, I believe it's the Palmer Mesa Trail. I've never had anybody actually tell me exactly, but that one won't get you to the Garden of the Gods, but it'll take you to a very scenic overlook if you want a cool picture. All right, so now we're not going up that way, we're turning on this road here. Like I said, that's a little loafing jug there. So, and back here is more, you know, this side is all high-tech, you know, high-tech industrial. They make different electronic stuff, you know. That over there is all housing, so mostly apartments. I don't know if any of those are townhomes or not. So we're gonna go back over here so we can use the main bike racks. Because like I said, I don't think they officially open till 11 o'clock. So we're just gonna go find a place and we're just gonna kind of hang out to see if anybody else shows up. As you can see, pretty nice place. We're gonna kind of cruise in here and then kind of back in. Ooh, a little close to the edge here. I'm not gonna be able to back in quite as tight as I'd hoped. Try to straighten out a little bit here. As you can see, it's got a really nice area for, still gonna have to go a little bit more this way. Let's see if I can get this thing in here a little tighter. Okay. Come on. Get back. Yeah. You're about as good as I'm going to be able to do. Go ahead, Joe. Just back in right next to me. Go up a little further. Okay. Now don't cut your wheel too sharp. You'll just have to do what I did. Okay, well, I'll go ahead and shut her down now, and I'll give you a little tour of the place once we get all parked and locked up and stuff. All right? Okay, bye for now. Okay, we're back. So I'm going to give you a quick tour. So this over here is the Rock Island, no, I'm sorry, the Red Leg Brewery. Won't go all the way in, but give you a quick look there. Looks like they're putting out water for people. And yeah, looks like they got new tables and stuff. These are a lot nicer than the old tables. But like I said, you got several areas over here. And you got another tent over there. This is Sasquatch Cookies that rarely ever seems to be open. I mean, rarely ever. I'll go check their business hours just to see, just to let you know when they're open. Monday, 4 p.m. They don't open until 4 p.m. Now on Saturday they open at noon. Okay, but otherwise during the week not till 4 p.m. And this lobster trap. It's never open. I've never seen it open yet. Never. But it does lobster and crab rolls and lobster mac and cheese and lobster quesadilla and fish basket, shrimp basket, chicken fingers. That's quite a crab roll. So, and this one over here is Oliver's Deli. It's a very, very well-known deli here in town. Now they have their main store is over off of Rock Rimmon Boulevard, and yeah, they do, you know, different sandwiches and that type of stuff. And yeah. But they have a stage here, you know, so sometimes they'll be doing that kind of stuff and, you know, that kind of thing. And the only bad thing about this area, man, there is no shade anywhere. I mean, it's just like, wow, you bake out here. So, and this is the, we get backed up here a little bit so you can get a good view. Okay, this is the burger bunker from the public house. Okay, I guess that's, that must be another brewery. And $14 fucking dollars, good lord. And this is the high-rise pizza kitchen. So normally when we come up here we have pizza, but today we had pizza last night. Friday night's our pizza night, so we'll either share a hamburger or we'll share a sandwich over at Oliver's Deli. Show you where the trikes are parked right now. They're all locked up. They've got U-bolts and cable. So they're pretty secure, and we'll be able to see them from where we are. So, well, yeah, so that's you know, that's kind of the whole thing. I'm going to come over here in the middle and do, you know, kind of a 360. They've got restrooms, and they also have restrooms in the Red Lake Brewery. And they have one of those nice, you know, water bottle filling water fountains. So, yeah. So we'll close it out for now and see if anybody else shows up. And oh, card only. All right, okay, well, okay, all right. So for now, this is BJ and Joe Ondo out and about in the Recumbents, and we are out. We'll be back. Bye. Okay, we're back in recording again. Yeah, we basically got there for the Pikes Peak Region Recumbent Network meet and eat at Red Lake Brewery, and sadly nobody showed up on this Saturday, but you know, that's the way life goes. It's okay because we're out for a ride anyway, but we're gonna keep doing those at least once a month. And maybe it'll catch on, you know. Part of the problem is that, I don't know, everybody thinks they have to, you know, they need a ride leader to do anything. And this way you can go with a meet and eat, the great thing about it is that you can go your own pace, use your own route, and you don't have to stop for anybody else but yourself. but I can't quite get the concept. I can't quite get people in our network. We don't have a club or a group. It's just a network. It's strictly on the internet, on Facebook. But we're, they're just not. It's not something that now in the motorcycle realm. Joe and I rode touring motorcycles for 40 years, but in the motorcycle realm, the meet and eat is a normal thing. Basically pick a state, and see whoever wants to show up, or pick up a city in your state and see who shows up. And they got really good turnouts, but for some reason they just in bicycling and recumbent trike riding, the meet and eat just, I don't know, it just doesn't work out well. It's kind of strange, but sometimes that kind of stuff happens. Okay, we're going under Centennial Street. We're back on the Sinton Trail, S-I-N-T-O-N, and now we have to go through what we affectionately call the tunnel. Darn it, forgot. Okay, recumbent trikes coming through. Stay tight. Okay, as you can see, this tunnel is only wide enough for one trike. or you could do 2 bicycles, but I'll tell you what, you'd be taking your life in your hands, because if the other person got a little spooked because the walls are so close, you'd probably run into each other. Howdy. So yeah, we're like I said, this is the older part of Sinton Trail here, so it's asphalt and it's got all kinds of cracks and humps and bumps, but that's okay. We don't mind. Well, at least not too much. Someday when Joe and I get wealthy, maybe, or Joe finally wins her Powerball, which she swears she's gonna do. Hope she hurries though, because she'll be 70 in December, and it's okay, ladies. She doesn't mind you knowing her age, okay, at all, period. She doesn't mind. And I'll be 69 in August. 69, dudes. Okay, sorry, I had to do that quote from Wayne's World for you. Okay, for you old farts like me. And but yeah, so need to get that money before we get too much older and can't do anything. But so far it hasn't shown up. So, and yes, we do play 1 a week, because they won't pay if you don't play. But we only do 1 a week. Nothing fancy, just enough to do the deed. But we may have to come back up this way, because the Sinton Trail might be closed down here. They're doing a I-25 on-ramp and off-ramp and lane extension. Passing on your left. Thank you. One more behind me. Yep. And yeah, this is one of the prettier parts of the Sinton Trail. Actually, the Sinton Trail, except for the top part there that we were on, is actually quite pretty. It goes right along Douglas Creek, which I don't know if you could really call it a creek. It only flows when there's been rain, and we've been real fortunate the last few days. We've had the perfect rain. It hasn't come in till like 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, which usually we're home by then. And comes on. It's not a hard rain, not a thunderstorm, just just a nice rain. And it rains till probably about on and off till about 5 o'clock in the morning. And so I usually get up around 6:30, and by the time we get ready to you know, head out to the storage unit to get the trikes out to go for a ride, it's all nice and dry, and it stays dry for most of the day. Little gratuitous Joe shot here. That guy had a killer ZZ Top type beard, man. He really did. It was a killer beard. So, howdy. We're just kind of cruising down because we don't know if it'll let us through or not. Like I said, this is down. It's down on I-25 in Elliston, Elliston, I believe, street, and they're putting in new on and off ramps, or at least acceleration and deceleration ramps. Passing on your left. Thank you. But yeah, like I said, this is one of the prettier trails we've got because it's all for it. Okay, we got what we call the bobble bumps here. These are some vicious bumps. Passing on your left. Thank you. Now, like I've always said, if you got a 29-inch high tower fat high wheel, you know, fat tire mountain bike, or you know, or 700C gravel bike, you don't even probably feel those bumps. But for us on our trikes with our 20-inch wheels, oh yeah, we feel it. Here's another bobble bump. Oh. They're kind enough to mark them for us, but that doesn't help. We have to really slow down. Oh. Okay, so what does it say? Sinton Trail will be closed 7 p.m. Okay, but what day? Oh, 6/27. We're good. Today's only the 22nd, I believe. So see, but they close the trail on and off because they're working. Like I said, they're putting in these. They're putting in the acceleration deceleration lanes for I-25, and they're also widening the bridge that goes over Ellison Street for I-25. So we won't know 100% till we get there, but okay. Yeah, so hopefully we can get through. Some days you can, some days you can't. Okay, it looks like the gate's open. We're in good shape. Oh boy, they made this a little bit tiny for a trike. Okay, well, we're gonna have to move that. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind. We're gonna have to move one of the others too. They got the gates open. They should have this done. Okay. That's good enough. That's good enough. Just wide enough for us to get through. Okay, take the camera from me. So I'm gonna go down there and move that one.
Okay.
One of those rare gratuitous BJ shots, yeah. You're like, thank goodness they don't have too many of those. Yeah. All right. So the gate's open, so that's good. We don't have to go all the way back to Chestnut Street, but it was worth giving it a try. We just have to go back up through that nice trail again, so it's not terrible. But it's funny, they got the gate open, but you know, they threw those up so you know you can't get through. Well, at least trikes can't get through. People always forget about trikes, you know. We are definitely the forgotten riders when it comes to stuff like this. But it will be nice when they finally get this, you know, get this completed. Okay, sorry for the bumpiness, but hopefully the stabilization program will take it out. I was very fortunate to find a GoPro 6 that I could afford used, and because my GoPro 1, 2, 3, 4 didn't have a stabilization program, so the videos were always super bumpy. We still don't know what they're really doing here. They're just, man, it's just, they've widened the creek massively, and they put in a whole bunch of rocks, and all we can think of is that, you know, it's to slow it down when it but like I said, this Douglas Creek doesn't run very much, you know, only when it rains. But I guess for some reason they felt they had to super widen it. Okay, so we're back on the concrete part of the Sinton Trail. Got a bike behind us. Let her pass.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Yeah, they call this Sinton Trail because up over the berm here is Sinton Pond, and that used to belong to the old Sinton Dairy Company. Which, it's still a dairy company, but it's not Sinton anymore, which is a real shame, because Sinton was a, you know, they've been here for 100+ years. Got to get a little shot of the train here for my buddy Pitmaster Toby, the world's most awesome A-Zub trike rider. Okay, he also has an HP too, and he's pretty awesome on that. But he's a tough rider, man. Well, Toby rides, you know, he rides the dirt trail. He lives down in, you know, in Fountain, and that's all dirt all the way up to Colorado Springs, and some deep places too. But he's got a really mean A-Zub Tie-Fly X with 26-inch wheels all the way around, and you know, some meaner treaded tires, so you can go anywhere. So north, south, east, well, we can't go east or west, but which way you want to go?
Why don't we go back south and then
End up at the Good Neighbors eventually?
yeah.
Oh, perfect. All right, so we've got our plan of attack. First thing we have to do though is we have to do a detour, because they're putting in a new bridge, which is absolutely wonderful, because that bridge there will take you over to I'm gonna get a little closer shot here. Yeah, right where that fencing is, that's the new concrete bridge over to the T-Gap or Templeton Gap Trail. And man, I mean to tell you, that's going to be a monstrous improvement.
Go check out the trail with the camera.
No, that's okay. But yeah, I mean, that'll be a that bridge was in such bad shape you know, old wooden planks, and they were just, you know, full of holes and divots, and, you know, they had them patched up with some, you know, aluminum work and stuff like that, you know, but it was just in horrible shape. And the transition on the other side's really bad, was really bad. So I'm hoping they at least thought about making that a little more even, because that will, but it's going to be a monstrous improvement. And it's really great for us because that's usually how we get from our storage unit to the, you know, back down here to, right now we're on the Pikes Peak Greenway heading south. And we're just gonna kind of keep going south till, and then slowly head our way back up either Weber Street bike lane or Shook's Run trail. And stop off at the Good Neighbors and get us an iced tea. Eat our homemade diabetic worthy trail mix, as in high protein, super low sugar, no to super low sugar, and low carb. The only thing that has the only thing that has sugar in it is the raisins, because even a diabetic, when they're exercising like Joe's doing right now, needs carbs. That's what your body burns. Okay, so you got to have carbs. You just got to have them. So if you don't get enough carbs, her blood sugar will crash. Another gratuitous train shot for Toby. Okay. Now the Pikes Peak Greenway, most of the Pikes Peak Greenway through Colorado Springs is now concrete. There's still some, but not a lot. Well, I should say it's either concrete or dirt, because when it goes through Monument Valley Park, they've left most of it dirt. And then once you get out of the park, it turns back to concrete. We're going right along Fountain Creek. We're going to follow everything down and head back over towards the house. And then we'll probably head towards downtown. Either that, or we'll jump back on the Fontenaro Street bike lane and get over to the Mesa Greenway and take that into the Springs, you know, downtown Colorado Springs. We're in the Springs now, but downtown Colorado Springs. We're basically north of downtown Colorado Springs now. And it's 12:30 in the afternoon. Got a real bad bump here, folks. Hold on. Oh, yeah. That's it. That bridge transition I was talking about. You know, some of them like that are kind of rough. Some of them aren't too bad, but some of them are kind of rough. Caution, trash dump, June 22nd. Oh, they must have a crew out here doing trash today. We do have some volunteer organizations that come out and you know, pick up trash. Joe and I do the what's called the one bag challenge. You know, not all the time, but sometimes when we go hiking these trails, because we live right around here, we'll just bring a bag with us, or a couple of bags, and we'll pick up trash. Sometimes it's a little and sometimes it's a lot. As you can tell, we're going downhill. We'll be going over a bridge, and then we'll have to go up what we call Diablo Hill, which isn't so bad anymore now that we both have howdy? Now that we both have e-assist. Not near as bad as it used to be. Okay, like I said, this is one of the nicer concrete bridges that'll take us right over Fountain Creek. And into another treed area. We have a few of these, but not very many. Most of the trails don't have this tree, you know, this treetop coverage here. Okay, got to switch because I got to up my we have this little Trevex platform that that's like they should stop using wood altogether for the bridges, because you know, it just goes bad after a while. That Trevex stuff, like that little platform over the swampy area, that stuff lasts for decades. I mean, not as long as concrete, of course, but still, I mean, it lasts for decades. Okay, well, I'm going to be stopping up here so we can Joe and I can get a drink, and then we're going to kind of figure out where we want to go from here exactly. All right. All right. So, like I said, go ahead and shut her down here for a little while, and we'll get back to you again. All right. Bye for now. Okay. We're gonna do a trail we don't normally do, because it can get pretty rough in places, but this is basically what I call the Monument Creek Trail, where they have a wider all dirt trail across the across Fountain Creek on the other side, but so we call this one the Monument Valley Trail, or the Monument Creek Trail, because of Monument Creek down here. We got some bikes coming up, so we gotta wait, because we kind of need the middle spot where they don't. So howdy.
Happy Saturday.
You two have a good day. Howdy.
No.
Yeah, tadpole trikes are, as we've discussed many times, and most of you know, are a bit on the wide side when it comes to the front end, having two wheels opposite each other. This is the new and improved section of the trail. As you can see, it's concrete, and but there's it didn't go very far, sadly. We were hoping they'd finish it at least all the way down to Uena Street, but they decided that they're only going so far with it, which is a real shame. It'll run out here in just a little bit, and then we got to get on the dirt, which, as you know, Joe and I don't care for at all. We're not dirt people, okay? We're just not. Thank you. As you can see, it bounces us all over the place. But it is a bit faster than oh man, yeah, like I said, it's rough. The camera will definitely be doing some bobbing and weaving, even with the EIS, because it's rough in places. And I've asked the city of Colorado Springs to come out and regrade this, you know, because they had to take a whole bunch of old telephone poles out, and that's on this part here. There's only one left. There used to be several, and so yeah, so we just have to, we got a bike coming down behind us, so I can't get into the better spots. I have to stay over here in the really nasty stuff. God. Thank you. Yeah, see, like I said, if you got 29-inch tires that are probably at least 1.9, if not 2.1 or 2, you know, wide, well, you probably don't even notice this stuff, especially if you've got a suspension bike. Well, we have very light, moderate suspension on the rear only, no front suspension, so we really feel these puppies. So this is the underpass under Uena Street, and that's why it's concrete. Do the same thing on both sides, but once you get up to the other side, it turns back to dirt. We went from bumpy dirt to bumpy concrete. Now, there is a street we could have picked up, but it's probably actually in worse shape than this trail. Howdy. This part's not too bad. It's in better shape than, you know, some of that stuff back there. But there's huge ruts in it from trucks. Howdy. As you can tell, because these are the duck ponds, and they kind of got bad. So now they're completely redoing them. We just got started on this. Of course, it's Saturday, so you ain't gonna see any construction workers. They don't work on Saturdays. Which, I mean, I don't blame them. They work 5 days a week otherwise. I think that's why a lot of guys and gals, you know, go into construction, because, you know, most of the time you have the weekends off, and it's a, you know, a trade where you don't have to go to college. You may have to go to a school, you know, electrician school, a carpentry school, something like that. But you don't have to have a college degree, and they make pretty darn good money. I mean, don't get me wrong, they work hard for their money. Really hard. Okay, well, we're gonna jump off of this one and go over to the paved and concrete trail that goes through Monument Valley Park. This is the demonstration garden here. It's a nice place to sit in the shade and get out of the sun. Got to be real careful here because they will come ripping around Glen Avenue and not even hardly slow down, so not quite as bad on the weekend. Yeah, they got we've been through here a million times, so you guys know they got pickleball courts and that kind of stuff. They have picnic tables and a restroom, and you know, it's a good place. Well, they also have one of the municipal swimming pools, but looks like it's closed down for you know, renovation or something, which is a real shame. You know, it doesn't seem to make any sense to close down a pool right in the middle of summer, you know. I mean, in a week or so, it's going to be July already, you know. Summer's almost gone. It's crazy. Passing on your right. Thank you. Okay, well, this is our stop. So I'm going to go ahead. I'll probably shut it off here because the trail gets really rough. I mean, really rough. Going over to the other part of the concrete. I said that's the municipal pool over there, and that's a covered picnic area, but you have to have reservations. Okay, we'll get back at you. Bye.